Hello there. I believe you are blessed wherever you are. Right. I would love to say blessed week in advance all over the world, regardless of the color of the skin, tribe, or nation. I'm saying to you, continue praying. God is the answer, regardless of whatever you are facing. Right. I've been quiet since I visited Zim after 8 years. I want to take you to Zim. What I saw in Zim. I know many people, they want to know how I experienced Zim and what was happening on the ground. What did I see? Because when you are a man of God, when you are going around, you don't play anything here. Can you switch off that thing? Sorry about that. When you go to Zim, when you a man of God, you go to a country, people, they want to hear exactly what is going on is fine. What is going on and what is happening. Right, I want to take you to, I never went to Zim for 8 years. So I went to Zim 3 weeks ago now. It's 3 weeks ago. So I want to just talk about spiritual things in Zim. Zim life as a Christian. Because there is a life as a human being. There is a life as a what? As a Christian. What did I saw on the ground in churches? I saw in Zim there are a lot of churches. In every corner, these ones, gowns, mapositola. You know those ones, they are all over any tree. Nowadays they are having flags. I saw they are having flags all over Zim in every. Others they are kneeling down here, others cars are parking here, others people are building next door, they will be praying this side. You know, I said something. What I discovered in Zim, people they are desperate of the truth. And they are in need. I discovered that in Zim, people they are desperate of the gospel. You know, when you are desperate, it leads to confusion. A lot of confusion that you see, it leads. You know, what I saw in Bulawayo, I saw Hebrew. When I saw what I saw in Bulawayo, I saw Hebrew on my brain same time. Hebrew came. I say, they told me that in Zim, a lot of people, they are coming from Hebrew down in Joburg. They are going back to Zim to do ancestor thing. They say there are a lot of people, they've seen them coming from South Africa because their things are not fine, they must go do and say. I say, what kind of madness is that? Those ancestors, they gave your mother a problem. They gave your father a problem. What are they going to do to you? I was worried what I saw in Zim. I don't want to lie, on the street everything was fine, beautiful border. Everything, the border is very beautiful, marvelous. One of the best border in Africa. There's no border like that. Order, professional, they are professional. Than those 8 years going back, were treating people like animals. They were treating people like animals, those ones. They didn't care about people. And I saw what I saw in border. If you are speaking any language, you are not speaking Shona, Zulu, whatever. If they are Shonas, they enter to Zulu. If they are Zulu, they... So there is no that thing that they force anyone to speak language. They migrate to one language to another. Those people are working there, which is professional. But when I on the street, I wasn't bothered. I went to Zim. They were on the street. We were not stopped. I believe 8 years ago, you have 150 roadblocks before you arrive where you are going. That's abuse. But there was no roadblock until I went to Zim. But what worried me when I arrived in town, everyone is selling. Less than a meter here, there is Pastor Nsofu. Less than here, there is Pastor Dingloas. Less than here, there is Pastor... So everyone is selling. And when you check, these products are the same. They are selling on the pavements of the shops. Those shops, they are paying taxes. Those people, they don't pay tax. So I saw disorder. I even asked, I say, who's buying for who now? Yes, I know it's black empowerment, but black empowerment needs wisdom. Because if all we sell tomatoes they get rotten in 5 days. Meaning that we are going to have loss, all of us. We go and throw them away. We bring other, that's a business that doesn't generate money. That's what I discovered in town. I don't want to talk about potholes because in Africa we're having potholes. There's no country that doesn't have potholes. Every country has potholes here. No one can say this one is better than now. There are potholes all over. So no one can say I'm smarter than this. That's the thing. What I loved again, food. Food is available. Every shop. Except locations. I went to locations. I saw many shops they are closed because their owners they can't manage to stock. But what I discovered, if people from Zim they can be wise. I was telling some of my daughters, I say, if you can raise a capital of 50 to 60,000, which is impossible to Zim to raise, you rent one shop here, you pack it once, you're not going to be broke anymore. Because what makes people to end up moving from locations to town, it is because there are people who are, here they call them vendors. People are selling outside. So there are vendors all over who are selling these smaller things. People bigger things, they end up going to town. So when you go again to Christianity world now, I discovered there are a lot of churches in Zim. But the first thing when I arrived, they said to me, there is no prophet in this town. I said, but there are people who go, they say nothing. People are staying in Zim, they say, there's no prophet. This town is dead. I stayed 1 week, I saw it by myself. In Christianity, that town is dead. Dead. Bulawayo is dead. I will visit Harare. I want to see because Harare, there are those prophets and these ones who are crazy who are saying they are gifted than God. That's madness above the level. That's stupidity. I don't entertain such stupid people. I've been told the minister who phoned me, the one I'm not going to say his name, who phoned me yesterday, I said, that guy is crazy. The boy is stupid only. So they were telling me his background, that he grew up suffering in village, blah, blah. I said, that's why. That's why he's talking like this. You know, what I discovered in Bulawayo is the gospel. There is no gospel. The only thing that has taken over is these religious churches. Seventh-day Adventist, Roman Catholic. They are buying people with food. People, they are going to worship in Zim, I discovered, they are going to these churches, so-called religious churches, those religious churches, for groceries and bananas only. So, there is no worshiping in such town. Then there are these churches there who are saying they mix ancestors and Jesus same time. What I saw is confusion in that town. What I saw, I even told them, I say, I believe in Harare they are worshiping better because I've seen 1, 2, 3 people churches that side. But the madness that I saw in Bulawayo, it was confusing. And another thing that I discovered, I'm going to talk, I'm not a politician. I need Zim people to correct that. I'm talking as an African, as your brother, not the one who's not having confusion. Zim Bulawayo people, they are bitter. That's what I discovered. That's what God told me. They are bitter, they are angry. Why? Because of something that happened 42 years ago. I want to tell you something. Zim people, I needed to listen to me. You went to school, I believe you are one of the country that is educated in Africa, one of the most educated people. But you learn the history. In your history, there is that thing, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I believe you know, you are common on that. The bomb that American threw it in Japan and killed a lot of millions of people. And after that, people, they continue giving birth to what? to kids who were crippled and disabled. But there is one thing, what makes Japanese money to be greater than all money in the world? America never apologized to Japan. I remember when this weak President Obama went there, they thought that he was going to apologize. He never apologized. America never apologized. Trump went there, they never apologized. They even media said, we're hoping maybe they will apologize now after 70 years. They never apologized. But America is an ally of Japan. Japan, when it comes to war, it depends on America. They are good friends. Right. I want to show you something. They say divided we fall. United we stand. What I discovered in the Christianity world of Zimbabwe, I need you to listen to me, you pastors. What kills Christianity in Bulawayo is division of tribes. That's the thing that is killing that town. You can't worship God separating one another. You cannot. God, Jesus doesn't have a tribe. You are a Shona, you are a Ndebele, you are a Zulu, whatever. God doesn't care. You understand? Right. But what I discovered, there are certain churches there that accommodate a certain tribe. And there are certain churches that accommodate certain tribe. There is a certain tribe that wants to worship alone. There is a certain, then confusion is there. I told them, I said, there is another guy who came, they say he's a pastor. I asked him, to me, you look like an usher. Which pastor, where are you pastoring? He told me, he never came on my second service, he ran away because I said, this one is an usher. He can't be a pastor. The thing that is separating what kills that town in Christianity, my daughter, it is tribes. In Bulawayo, people are not united. They are still bitter majority of Bulawayo people. But there is something that they must consider. Shona has married Ndebele. Ndebele has married the Shona. They had kids. So what is that confusion bring to those kids? And when you go to the Christianity under the roof, you are having one angel. You are bitter. That's what I discovered even in their social media when I was in Zim there. When you enter on TikTok and check, they talk about how to revenge against one another, how to fight with this and that. Right. Gospel in such environment won't have roots. Do you get me? Gospel in such environment is not confusion, that one. That one is it is bitterness that is in a higher level, whereby for them to move forward in that town, for God to bring a church, because they told me they need a church. I said, but a church to be a church in this town they have to reconcile. They have to make peace to one another. They say, why? I say, I'm telling you, because your next door is from Malawi. Your next door, this side, is from Marathi. You here, you are from here, this town. So you are three tribes that are supposed to worship one God. But you are having issues against one another. How are you going to worship? How are you going to pray for each other? That's what I discovered why that town is behind. That town is not behind because God, or maybe it's, yes, we may have oppression and whatever. That one is for politics. But I want to talk about, I was on the ground. I want to talk about how Christianity can be strong in Bulawayo. It can't be strong. Why they worship ancestors? You know what I said in Bulawayo? I say, why there are these churches who are saying ancestors mix? They say, why, Papa? I was going to the mountain. I say, because these churches, they allow bitterness and revenges. When they go to stretch Jesus, will tell them, forgive, you shall be what? Forgiven. So they don't want to hear that a word overseer of forgive. Listen, I want to tell you, if you are from Zim, I don't care, you love me or whatever. When you are bitter, you are angry, or angry now, I did you something wrong, you become angry. You must know you are carrying one soul on top of you. You go again, you become angry outside, you are carrying two souls. But this, what I saw, these youngsters, 20s, they were not born before whatever happened. But they've sucked that spirit of hatred. That's what I discovered. And I discovered that youth are in beer, alcohol. They even told me they are in alcohol. I spoke to many youth in Zim on the ground. I called them. They are in alcohol too much. As younger as 18, 16, they are in alcohol deep, 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 deep. They talk something. I said to them, others are selling. Why are you not selling? They will take you 42 years ago. So you see the damage that is here. Then I'm saying to them, all right, let's go to church. You cannot go to church. Jesus is the only solution to that time. Believe me. Jesus is the only solution. Bulawayo people, Shonas, Ndebele, whatever, for them to move that town forward, they have to stay in peace. No one will apologize anybody. Believe me, no one will come and say so. Check Hiroshima, how American killed, it never apologized. But Japan is forward now. Japanese currency is the biggest currency in the world. The Americans, they say, we apologize to God. God has forgiven us. We're not going to apologize to you because it was a war. You killed our people. You understand? A war, there will be a change of killing. So no one will say, I apologize, because politicians, they know if they apologize, tomorrow you will come after them and say, since you apologize, you are no longer a politician, we're putting you in prison. But I'm talking about the town. Gospel that is in Bulawayo is dead. Dead, dead, dead. It's full of confusion. That's what I discovered. There are no pastors with punch. There are no pastors that they can speak a word. People are desperate. You can tell that these people are desperate for that. That's when you discover Sangomas and all these half Christians, half pastors, they are taking over the country. If you see a town, this thing dominating, you must know God is far, far away.